Good evening and welcome to Doordarshan Kendra, Kohima. I am Kevina Naprautsu with the news. First, the headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says no country should weaponize critical minerals, technology and supply chains. India articulates the need for reform in multilateral global organizations. Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw says, under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Railway is committed for development of the nation. Union Agriculture and Farmers Welfare Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan calls for a multi-stakeholder approach to boost maize cultivation. Now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that no country should weaponize critical minerals, technology and supply chains to further its own selfish gain. He said in addition to greater cooperation in critical minerals and technology, there is a need to focus on securing and making their supply chains resilient. Prime Minister said this while participating in the outreach session on strengthening multilateralism, economic financial affairs and artificial intelligence in Rio de Janeiro. Modi said that the focus should be on demand-driven decision-making, long-term financial sustainability and maintaining a healthy credit rating in the BRICS New Development Bank projects. Prime Minister Modi said the progress and well-being of people largely depend on technology, especially artificial intelligence in the 21st century. The Prime Minister called on BRICS nations to collectively pursue the responsible use of artificial intelligence, highlighting the importance of balancing innovation with governance.
Countries in the Council's memberships so that it can adequately respond to prevailing global challenges. They stressed that the United Nations Security Council reforms will lead to the amplified voice of the Global South. The leaders reiterated further support to the aspirations of India and Brazil to play a greater role in the United Nations, including its Security Council.
India has said the BRICS leaders' declaration has captured most of the concerns of the Global South. Addressing the media after the conclusion of the first day of the BRICS summit in Rio de Janeiro, Secretary Economic Relations in the Ministry of External Affairs, Damur Ravi, said Prime Minister Modi strongly articulated the need for the reform in the multilateral global organizations. During one of his interventions in a session, the Prime Minister has said that the UN Security Council, IMF, World Bank and WTO must undergo immediate reforms to reflect contemporary realities and challenges. Secretary Damur Ravi also said that the condemnation of the Pahalgam terrorist attack in the strongest terms unanimously by all the countries was another highlight of the summit.
6, where there is a very strong expression for reform of the global multilateral institutions, in particular the UN and the UN Security Council, in which countries of the Global South to play an active role. And this time, that para and that formulation has been further strengthened over the Kazan's formulation, where it got reiterated, reinforced in terms of India and Brazil to play an active role in international affairs and multilateral bodies.
On the sidelines of the ongoing BRICS summit, Prime Minister Modi held bilateral meetings with his Malaysian counterpart, Anwar Ibrahim, President of Cuba, Miguel Diaz-Canel Bermudez, in Rio de Janeiro. With Prime Minister Ibrahim, Modi reviewed progress in various areas of India-Malaysia Comprehensive Strategic Partnership, including defense, counter-terrorism, education, trade and investment, and pharma. The Prime Minister exchanged views with the Cuban President on various facets of India-Cuba relationship, including economic cooperation, biotechnology, Ayurveda and traditional medicine, and UPI. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has said the capability of India's domestic equipment demonstrated during the recent Operation Sindoor has increased the global demand for its indigenous defence products. Speaking at the Controllers' Conference in New Delhi today, the Defence Minister highlighted that India's defence industries have immense possibilities. He said, under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, India has almost achieved self-reliance in the defence sector. He said most of defense equipment, which was imported previously from foreign countries, is now being manufactured in the country itself. The defense minister stressed upon defense economics in today's era, where rearmament and related investments are rapidly increasing. Singh said that today almost all the major countries, including USA and European nations, are rapidly increasing their defense expenditure.
अब डिफेंस सेक्टर मात्र नेसेसरी एक्सपेंडिचर नहीं रह गया है, बल्कि यह इकोनॉमिक इन्वेस्टमेंट की तरह देखा जा रहा है, जिसका इकोनॉमी पर मल्टीप्लायर इफेक्ट हो रहा है। साथियों, आज डिफेंस सेक्टर न सिर्फ खुद वृद्धि कर रहा है, बल्कि दूसरे सेक्टर्स की वृद्धि में भी अपना कंट्रीब्यूशन दे रहा है। आप सबको तो पता ही होगा, 2016 में हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी की दूरदर्शिता के कारण सरकार ने गवर्नमेंट ई मार्केट प्लेस यानी जीएम की शुरुआत की थी, और आज यह ग्लोबल लेवल पर सबसे बड़ा एक सार्वजनिक ई प्रोक्योरमेंट प्लेटफॉर्म में से एक है। और यह देखकर मुझे खुशी होती है कि जीएम की इस विकास यात्रा में रक्षा मंत्रालय का बहुत बड़ा योगदान है।
Let us take a short break now.
ये देख कैसे।
हैप्पी बर्थडे भाई।
दिखा? हाँ, मेरा फेवरेट कलर।
हमेशा शॉपिंग।
आई नो माँ, बट खर्चा करने की भी यही उम्र है, राइट?
सेविंग करने की भी यही उम्र है।
आई नो पा, सेव करो, सही जगह निवेश करो, रकम पर ब्याज मिलेगा, जिसे फिर से निवेश करने पर ब्याज मिलता रहेगा। आई नो ना। आरबीआई कहता है,
करो से ही शुरुआत, बनो फाइनेंशियली स्मार्ट।
Welcome back. Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw today said that under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the railway is committed for development of the nation. Addressing a gathering at Karpurigram railway station in Samastipur in Bihar, Mr. Vaishnaw said more than 33,000 kilometers of new rail lines have been laid in the past 11 years. He said railways is witnessing metamorphosis in the NDA regime with more state-of-the-art high-speed trains and technology. Earlier, Mr. Vaishnaw inaugurated several passenger-related amenities, including passenger waiting hall and redeveloped entrance of Karpurigram station. He also laid the foundation stone for upgradation of Karpurigram station and new level crossing ramp with project cost over 17 crore rupees. The Supreme Court today agreed to hear a batch of petitions challenging the Election Commission's decision to undertake a special intensive revision of electoral rolls in poll-bound Bihar. The matter will be heard on Thursday. A bench of Justices Sudhanshu Dhulia and Joymaila Bakshi agreed to hear the pleas. The Commission's move was challenged in the Apex Court over the manner and timing of undertaking a special intensive revision in the state. Union Agriculture and Farmers Welfare Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan has called for a multi-stakeholder approach to boost maize cultivation in the country. He emphasized that state and central government scientists, farmers, agricultural universities and industry must work together to fulfill this goal. Mr. Singh said this while addressing the FICCI's 11th India Maize Summit in New Delhi today. On the occasion, the minister also felicitated progressive farmers for their exceptional contribution to maize cultivation. Mr. Chauhan stressed upon building a team which is centered around the idea of one nation, one agriculture, and one agriculture, one team. He also urged FICCI to carry out extensive discussions and provide recommendations that can help both farmers as well as other stakeholders.
And said that a national team should be formed under the principle of one nation, one agriculture, and one agriculture, one team.
अभी विकसित कृषि संकल्प अभियान के अंतर्गत हमने सारे वैज्ञानिकों को किसानों के बीच में भेजा। हमारे लगभग 11,000 लोग 60,000 गांव में पहुंचे, 60,800 कुछ गांव में। अब देखिए, उत्पादन कहां बढ़ेगा? उत्पादन खेत में बढ़ेगा, साइंटिस्ट लैब में बैठता है, रिसर्च जरूरी है, लेकिन कई बार ये रिसर्च नीचे किसानों तक ढंग से पहुंचते ही नहीं है। लैब अलग काम कर रही है, किसान लैंड पे काम कर रहा है, ये लैब और लैंड मिलते ही नहीं थे। हमने तय किया कि वैज्ञानिक किसानों के खेतों में जाएंगे, लैब टू लैंड जोड़ने का काम किया।
Today is 5th day of Sri Amarnath Yatra. The annual 38-day Sri Amarnath Ji Yatra that commenced on 3rd of this month is going on smoothly and seamlessly from twin routes of Nunwan, Pahalgam base camp. In Nagaland, incessant rainfall over the past several days has severely impacted normal life across the state, forcing the cancellation of all flight operations at the state's lone airport in Dimapur yesterday. However, the flight operations are normal now. The state is grappling with widespread impacts of the monsoon, which has triggered severe waterlogging and landslides in several districts. Meanwhile, in most parts of Himachal Pradesh, people heaved a sigh of relief as the spell of heavy rain subsided after this morning. The weather has remained clear in most areas of the state. Let us look at the weather reports of the district headquarters of Nagaland.
Kohima today recorded a maximum temperature of 26 degrees Celsius and a minimum temperature of 18 degrees Celsius, while Dimapur had a maximum temperature of 35 degrees Celsius and a minimum temperature of 23 degrees Celsius. Wokha experienced a maximum temperature of 31 degrees Celsius and a minimum temperature of 21 degrees Celsius. Mokokchung had a maximum temperature of 30 degrees Celsius and a minimum temperature of 19 degrees Celsius. Mon had a maximum temperature of 33 degrees Celsius and a minimum temperature of 22 degrees Celsius. Towards the east, Tuinsang had a maximum temperature of 24 degrees Celsius and a minimum temperature of 15 degrees Celsius. Zinabuto had a maximum temperature of 25 degrees Celsius and a minimum temperature of 17 degrees Celsius. Phek had a maximum temperature of 23 degrees Celsius and a minimum temperature of 15 degrees Celsius. That's all for the weather report.
To end the news, here is a recap of the main points. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says no country should weaponize critical minerals, technology and supply chains. India articulates the need for reform in multilateral global organizations. Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnav says under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Railway is committed for development of the nation. Union Agriculture and Farmers Welfare Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan calls for a multi-stakeholder approach to boost maize cultivation. With this, we have come to the end of this evening's bulletin. Have a good night.